Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you tonight, Gwen?
I'm good.
Good. So we have a show on Tuesday nights tonight.
Yeah, special episode.
Special episode, and we'll have another one on Thursday as well.
Yes, we are.
It's going to be a busy week.
I know it. Plus, we're doing some traveling, aren't we?
Yep. Friday, I'm leaving to come down toward you. So we're going to be going to the Indian powwow
Mm-hmm.
and a few investigations when I'm down there next week.
Yep, it's going to be a big next week. So, all right. Well, why don't we bring our guest on? Here's
Okay.
Greg and Kathy.
Hi, how are y'all doing?
Hi. How are you? I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing
Good.
Mhm.
Yep, doing really well.
All right. Good. It's a little delay for anybody that's watching, and his dog is having a little fit. I guess he wants a little attention. So
I was going to say, yeah, because we don't have a dog.
you never know. Never know. You might have a little spirit dog there. So, well, tell us about you guys. I have been wanting you guys to come on to promote. And I'm just going to let you tell the audience about you, both of you.
You can go first.
Ladies first, I guess.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, I'm Kathy Feketik. Both Greg and I are co-founders of Tri-C Ghost Hunters. We also put on the Parapsychon that is held every May at the Ohio State Reformatory. I am the paranormal manager for the Ohio State Reformatory. I began it there, though, as a volunteer and then moved on into an assistant position and then the manager. And I also own two businesses. One's Serenity Reiki and the other is Kathy's Bath Craze. Kathy's Bath Craze, of course, is handmade soaps and things like that. And Serenity Reiki is my shamanic Reiki practice.
Awesome.
That is cool.
Okay. My name's Greg Feketik. I've been investigating about 34 years. I'm an Air Force veteran, retired police officer, retired after 29 years. I've written 2 books. Started volunteering at the Ohio State Reformatory in 2013. Then in 2019, our paranormal team that Kathy and I co-founded became the resident paranormal team at the Ohio State Reformatory, and that's the same year I became the lead paranormal investigator there. So, and like you said, we're the co-organizers of Parapsychon, so we keep really, really busy. I'm more busier now than when I was working.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, I retired a couple of years ago, and it's the same thing. I feel much busier than I was when I was working a full-time job. But you know what? It keeps you alive.
It does. It does. Feels good to be busy, doesn't it?
Well, Greg, one thing I'd like to say beforehand here, thank you for your service, for being in the Air Force and doing all you've done.
Thank you, and you're welcome. Thank you for saying that.
So you've also been on a couple TV shows, or more than a couple, I think. I don't have the list in front of me. I apologize for that.
Yeah, Kathy and I were on an episode of Portals to Hell with Katrina and Jack. Then I've also been on an episode of Haunted Hospitals, episode of Destination Fear. One was called Destination Fear, and then numerous YouTube channels. And so,
That's awesome.
I've actually checked some of them out to make sure that I had seen. Yeah. So
yeah, it's pretty cool because when I'm at the Reformatory, a lot of people will like, ooh, point. And it's like, ooh, that's the guy. I'm like I find it funny. Yeah, there he is, especially the younger kids who've seen Sam and Kobe and shows like that, the younger generation, and they're like, oh my God.
It's cute.
Yeah, it is cute.
that is cool. So you guys, I think Kathy said you guys were there last weekend. Do y'all like rotate type thing when you volunteer and run it? I know you run, if you manage it.
Okay. Well, I am there for all the private investigations for people that rent the building out. So I'm there about 50 times a year give or take, on private investigations. And then other things that, we do. In fact, this past weekend, we did our
Inaugural.
a training there called the
Yeah.
Paranormal Institute.
Mhm.
Ooh.
So Kathy and I were the instructors. It was 4 hours of classroom training and then 4 hours of hands-on investigating. And that was phase 1 and phase 2. We got phase 3 and phase 4 coming up in a month or so. No,
Yeah,
months.
in June and then again in July. But Greg is mainly there. He works nights and I work days. Basically, I take care of managing the programs, the paranormal programs. That is, Ohio State Reformatory has a lot of different programs and tours and things like that. So I strictly take care of the paranormal, and Greg is the one that works the private ghost hunts and manages all of those. Now, the Paranormal Institute that he's talking about is a brand new program that we are bringing into Ohio State Reformatory. And it's for ages 13 and up, because one of the things is we don't really have anything other than our ghost walks there to cater to the teenagers, the 13 to 17-year-olds. Whereas this, we can. We bring them in, we do the classroom, and then the 4-hour guided ghost hunt. And those guided ghost hunts are with our Tri-C team members and some OSR volunteer members. And they walk around and they teach them how to use equipment and everything. So it's our first year doing it. And I have to say, this past Saturday, it was very successful and fun. It was a
That's
lot
what I
of
was
fun.
going to ask. Yeah, was it fun?
Yep.
If you get some good younger folks, it's nice to see. It is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we
We've
had
got-
a couple of 14-year-olds, and they were very, very involved and active in the program, taking notes. They had asked great questions. They participated, and that's what it's about. We all have been around for a while, and we've all learned, and we know. But we've got our younger generation coming up that they're learning from TikTok. And I'd
Right.
rather Greg and I would much rather teach them hands-on the right way.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, we got Nathan. He has a show with us on All Access, and Nathaniel Elwell. I'm not sure if he said it's been on his bucket list to go there.
Gotta
So,
go.
Oh yeah.
I want to go so bad to you guys' event this year, but costs a little
Right.
money, so
Yeah.
to get there,
Where are you coming from?
I'm in South Carolina.
South Carolina. Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm in Galesburg, Illinois.
Yeah. So we're
Okay.
Okay, a little bit closer.
yeah.
Little.
Yeah, if you can make the trip, you really should. I mean, the building itself is amazing, and there's more to see than just the paranormal there. There's been
Yeah.
a lot of shows that have been filmed there, and they have the different museums. I mean, it's well worth your money and a trip out there.
And they also have houses there that the Ohio State Reformatory owns that you can rent out. And they're right across the street from the reformatory.
Oh wow.
Right. Yeah, I was talking to Thomas Gormley today, and he said that him
Oh, I
and
love
some of
him.
the guys are. I'm not going to drop the names, but the guys are coming. You know which ones I'm talking about. And
Yeah, I do.
I was like, I'm so jealous. I want to go so bad, and I still may pop up if I can. Was majority of the Shawshank Redemption filmed?
Well,
What?
it's
Oh,
really
was
cool
it?
because the first time that Kathy and I investigated the reformatories back in 2004,
Mhm.
and the first time we saw it driving down the drive, it's like I kind of like fell in love with the building. And I told her, I said, when I retire, I want to start working here. So I retired in 2011, 2012, we were moving and had a house built. And then both of us started volunteering in 2013. So it was like a dream come true.
Somebody
That's
asked about the Shawshank Redemption, and it was filmed mainly filmed there.
Well, the whole movie was filmed in
Yeah.
Mansfield.
Mhm.
Okay.
So, and the majority of it was filmed in the reformatory.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
That
That
is
is
very
very
cool.
cool. Yeah.
Well, if we can't come this year, maybe we can get out there next year.
It's always the third weekend in May, so mark it
Yeah.
on your calendar now.
Yeah. Oh, I promise you, if something happens and I can come, I'll be like, "Hey guys, I did make it." So yeah,
Good.
yeah, that'd be awesome. But we had wanted to get you on and everything, and I know it's running close. But are you guys in the last minute getting everything together and preparing, that kind of thing?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, we're getting down to the nitty gritty now. This is like every day we work on things. There's minute details that you have to take care of.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta, people that are coming to our kickoff party, you gotta send them reminder emails and let them know what to expect. And, all our vendors and all our, talent, special guests that are coming, and for our celebrity ghost hunt. All the stuff you need to do. You need to have everything printed out, all these flyers and all the welcome packet stuff. It's a lot of work, but
A lot.
we enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
We do other things too that it creates work for us, but it's still fun. Like we do a scavenger hunt during the event, and basically what it is we have little things placed around on vendor tables, and the idea behind that is if people are doing their scavenger hunt, it's actually taking people to every table to look at the stuff to try and find the item that needs to be marked off, and with the hopes that they'll see something they want and they'll buy it.
That's a great idea.
The other thing.
Yeah, but they get a prize.
Oh yeah, they get a prize.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
if they find everything, they'll bring it back to our table, and then we'll put them in a drawing, and the winner can win a $250 gift certificate to the Ohio State Reformatory Museum store.
Cool.
That's cool.
That is.
That's definitely cool.
Yeah, one of the things we do. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, one of the things I always like to ask, because I'm always curious, because being an investigator myself, what got you into the paranormal, Kathy?
Oh, what got me into it is I grew up in a haunted house. That seems like the most common thing for most people. But yeah, there were things that happened in my house all the time. And of course, my mom always said it was my imagination, but I knew that it wasn't my imagination. So that's what triggered my interest in it. Was it my imagination, or was it something that was really going on? And it was really something going on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did not grow up in a haunted house. Back in the 60s, when I was a kid, we had libraries. We didn't have the internet. So I remember going to the library and getting every book I could find and read on UFOs and Loch Ness and aliens and everything like that. I was really intrigued. I used to read a lot of the Hardy Boy mysteries, and
love those.
Some of them were with the paranormal and Alfred Hitchcock's Three Investigators. So I had a lot of interest in that. And, Loch Ness Monster was a big interest of mine, and the paranormal. And I just got hooked on it. I used to read everything I could.
Have you actually had a chance to go over and maybe investigate a little bit of the Loch Ness Monster?
We actually did. We actually cruised on Loch Ness, and we actually went over to the UK and spent a little over 2 weeks there. Stayed at some haunted castles, investigated some haunted castles. Got to investigate the Edinburgh vaults, for a little while. Commoners Prison and the Black Mausoleum and Greyfriars Kirkyard. We got to investigate that.
Oh, wow.
So it helps when you have a friend who's a retired police officer over in Edinburgh.
Yes.
It's all who you know, right?
Yeah,
it is.
That does help out on the travel a little bit when you got somebody and you could probably stay with over there as well. That's pretty cool. Did it pique your interest, or did you find anything that got your attention when you were doing that Loch Ness?
No, it was mostly, you start in Inverness and you cruise down the canal, and then the boat, it has sonar on it, so you can look underneath. But you know what, we were looking at the sonar, we were looking at, across the lake and everything, but we never did find anything. So sometimes I want to believe everything. But sometimes I have my doubts about Loch Ness. Obviously there is something there that people are seeing, but I don't know if it's like a plesiosaur or something like that. But there's there's so much research, and that there was no way that, I mean, the lock was formed after, it's like formed during the Ice Age. Then that was way after,
Right.
the age of dinosaurs. So just based on that, it's like, unless there's some underground, tunnel system or cave system where they can come from the North Sea.
That's what
open
I read.
to the lock.
Possibility of
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
That's what I've read too.
That's why it's not there all the time,
Right.
So,
Of course, then is it interdimensional? Is that why it's not there all the time? There's lots of different. You can see a ghost dinosaur. There you go, Thomas. A ghost dinosaur.
Yeah,
There you go.
Hey,
Tom.
But yeah, that's very cool. I mean, I remember reading stories about Loch Ness and seeing them in magazines and people trying to debunk it back in the day when I was growing up as well. And I think that's pretty interesting to be able to actually go there and do that. That'd be cool.
I remember my favorite photograph was the doctor's photograph. And then, of course, that came out later that it was hoaxed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I thought that was like, I'm like, ooh, there's definitely a plesiosaur there. And then after they came out and said, no, it was hoaxed. It's like, oh, man, come on.
Yeah.
Has your friend that lives over there, has he or she, I'm not sure which one, seen anything ever?
No, they actually live in Edinburgh, which is farther south. And I don't even know if they've been up. I'm sure they may have, but they're not as interested as much as we are. But they did go on some investigations with us.
Oh, that's nice thing.
Pretty fun. And she had something happen too.
Mhm.
At one place, it was called Pennacook House. It was like an old shell of this huge mansion castle type thing. And so we investigated the outside on the grounds, and I think she got pushed or something.
She got poked and then pushed.
Yeah.
And it was interesting too, because there was a little bit of a mist that was around in the pictures that we were taking during that time. Yeah.
Oh, neat.
That does sound cool.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, and in September, we're heading out to
Ireland, and I'm looking forward to that.
And we're staying at some haunted castles out there, and so
that's
my dream is to go to Scotland. So yeah, Ireland, Scotland, England
is gorgeous.
Yes,
definitely one day. Yeah, I go over there as well. I've got family that's over there in Ireland. They when my uncle was still alive about 10 years ago, he actually went over to Ireland, and he actually found out they were building a castle, rebuilding one of the castles from our family over there. So
nice.
Very cool.
And he brought back some of the paperwork for it, and I thought that was pretty cool. So
it is. Have you guys researched to see if you have, like, when you're going over there, if you have family from over there or anything?
I do have family over there. Well, that's where my family came from. But I haven't researched it to find out who is still there.
Right.
I think that would be kind of freaky in a way. Hey,
hey,
you don't know me, but can we go out and
have a cup of tea? Yeah.
Yeah, cup of tea.
Yeah,
There you go.
it'd be like European vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over the wrong house.
Yeah. So, but I'm really looking forward to it, because I do want to see, the land where I came from.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
yeah, that's got a bunch of interesting stuff over there. One of the other places I'd really like to go is Stonehenge, but I've heard they kind of messed with that a little bit as well. So
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
There's so many different beliefs over there in Ireland too, like the leprechauns and fairies and the druids and everything. It's like there's just so much mystical type of stuff. It's like, I think that's really cool, and I'm curious to get over there and see some of the things like that too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Hopefully I see a fairy.
Well, you might, if you do, catch it on video or something for us.
yeah, definitely.
I'll be very respectful though.
Yeah, you have to be respectful, or the fae over there they say they'll get you. So
yeah.
or they'll play tricks and things on you. That may happen also. So you never know.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, and don't go picking up any different objects you're not used to either, because it might follow you back.
Ooh.
Don't need that.
I know one of the things when they go over to Hawaii, don't ever pick up certain rocks over there.
Yes.
Bring them back because they will follow you and whatever the spirit is.
Learned about that on Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
Well,
Too young
Here-
for that episode,
But when we went over to Hawaii, and I remember that they were talking about that. You know, there was some. I think it was on Maui when they were talking about some sacred stuff. It's like you can't touch it. Don't bring it home.
Oh yeah, they said it's really kind of bad and gets nasty once in a while. When you were over there, did they bring up the little people, the Menahonis? Did you hear anything about them?
No, didn't. I didn't. Did
No.
you?
We were actually working at the time.
Yeah, that's true. We were.
We spent 2 weeks working and then 1 week recovering there.
Good place to recover.
Yeah.
I was about to say yes, please.
I know that certain people bring up the word little people all the time, but I remember reading an article about Menahonis and being over in that area, and they were the little Hawaiian type people. And I'm just wondering how they're all linked to some of these other ones that people are talking about that's across, the world.
Yeah.
So that's definitely kind of cool. That's definitely cool. So Reiki, how did you get into Reiki, Kathy?
I was very fortunate that somebody saw the gift within me, and she came up to me and said, "You know what? You have a gift, and you should learn about it." And she took me under her wing, and she began with teaching me Reiki 1. Of course, I was like, Reiki 1, I was like, yeah, this isn't anything I really want to do. It was more, she thought I could do it type of thing. And then as the years passed and I started taking more, I realized she was right. I really did have a gift with doing the Reiki, and I'm very thankful to her for opening that door for me.
That's wonderful.
That's like your full-time job now.
Yeah, it's getting very, very busy. I'm also a shaman practitioner, and like you have Reiki, which is energy healing, and then you have shaman work, which is basically working with the spirit world and everything, and then gifts from of the earth and so forth. But I also am certified in the art of mountain magic. So when I do my sessions, my healing sessions, it's not straight Reiki, and it's not straight shaman work, and it's not straight mountain magic. It's a combination. I kind of weave them together and create my own type of modality. And I probably, I'm going to say that one of my specialties is removing attachments. I do like doing that. Some people are like, "Ooh, you work with the demons, and you're exorcising people." No, it's when I say attachments, it's not that so much. People have trauma in their life, and those are the attachments. Those are things that they have grown up with, that they are hanging on to, that are embedded inside of them, that are keeping them from doing being as great as they can be. So I like to get inside and work on it and try and pull it out. Now, there are times that there are dark energies in there too, and I work on that as well. So it's very, very interesting, and I love it. As you can tell, I'm passionate because I'm expanding on it.
Yeah,
you're smiling and glowing.
I have a little bit of expertise in Reiki, a little bit, and also I've been taking shamanism as well. And I combine it like you do and make my own form of it, because they said what works for you may not work for somebody else. So I definitely find it interesting as well.
Absolutely. And that's great that you do that you've learned to be able to combine them all together, because we are guided. That we are guided. And sometimes it's reaching into the shaman bag, that you have
Oh,
to
yeah.
reach for those tools in order to help the people and everything. So that's great that you do that.
Yeah. And I've also realized, the balance to all of or the key to all of it is the balance, because you've got to learn the dark side, the light side, be able to combine it to find out what the situation is to be able to handle it. And if you don't have both sides of it, then you're only going one way.
That's right.
Have you done spinal flow? Have you done any of that?
I have not. I've thought of expanding into other things, and I thought, no, you know what? I don't want to be a jack of all trades. I don't want all of it. Right now, I want to focus on what I have and use
Right.
those tools to do the best that I can. Now, will I dabble in stuff like that? Yeah, I will, but it not necessarily bring it in to my healing practice.
Right.
It's
I had it
kind
done
of like
a
goes
couple
along.
months ago. Yeah.
Oh, you did? What did you think?
Yeah. It was super intense. I've had some Reiki training and that kind of thing, but I'm not a master or anything. But when he did that to me, I make a joke of it because I don't know if you've ever had Reiki make you feel, I call it Swiss cheese brain. It's so intense for me. I'm an empath, so everything is, but it made me feel like I had Swiss cheese brain for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It was very intense, but honestly, it helped. After about a week, I felt totally different and kind of more aligned.
Mm-hmm.
But it was very intense. You can ask him. I called him and I was like, "This is crazy." So
Some
it was
people,
great.
some people it does affect that way, though. I mean, because the
Mhm.
energy is intense.
Absolutely. When I work on people, I always tell them, don't be surprised if you purge, and there's different ways of purging and everything. But I also tell them embrace it.
Yep.
Because that's part of the healing process. Now, for me myself, as far as being doing the sessions and everything, I haven't experienced that, but I also release the energy that I pull off of people by burping. I let out the best belches ever. They're like root beer club of burps.
That's different. That's definitely different.
Yes, it is, but it works.
Did you have a lot of people that cry? I always cry when it's intense. Yeah.
Yes.
That's a
I
big
have a
thing.
lot of people that cry. Mm-hmm.
Even if I'm doing it, I cry. It's just a thing. And people, are you okay? I'm fine. This means it's working. This means it's going well. So
There was one time, and it was just in March this year. I was with my solstice sisters in Texas, and we were working on somebody. We do what's called the triple goddess, where Dana is the psychic, and Christina and I are the healers. And we were working on somebody, and I'm not a crier. I don't cry. I'm more focused and in the spirit and the soul, and like that. Christina's usually the crier. And I started feeling everything from this lady. I saw her past and the trauma that she had felt and experienced. And it was the first time I bawled. I mean, sobbing, tears just pouring out of my eyeballs. And,
yes,
Dana and Christina are like, oh my God, that's not you. And I said, yeah, but she needs this. So she's working through me right now.
exactly.
Yeah.
How about you, Greg? You do any of that? No.
Nope. Being a police officer too, it's I'm not very spiritual, so yeah,
I'm spiritual for him.
yeah, she's spiritual for me, and yeah, it's like my police officer, the years, it's like you need facts and tangible evidence and stuff like that. So
He's black and white.
and that's
Yeah.
how I am.
I got you.
Except
I
for
could
one
kind of
time.
tell.
Yeah, it's so.
There was one time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised that it hasn't rubbed off on him a little bit, and him starting to pick up on stuff, because the more you're around the same people, that will start rubbing off on your spouse or your significant other.
You
Yeah,
can't.
but I think with his police background, because he had to block so much,
Yes.
that's why he doesn't pick up on it so easily.
And-
Because
Yeah, and you know what? It's like I rarely have any emotion. Even when I was a police officer, I saw a lot of things. I mean, I would, I'd see
right.
and some of it was not very pretty.
Right.
And then I'd
Right.
I'd leave the scene and then go home and eat and just have to have a normal life.
Mhm.
Or after seeing an
Well, I was not an
autopsy or
officer, but
something.
I was a medic and a firefighter, and I saw so much. And I blocked myself for so many years. I did. I did it on purpose. So when I said I'm just going to release, I'm going to do this, I'm going to accept it, and I felt so much better. I did.
Yep, that's.
Yep.
I haven't released yet. Stuff still doesn't bother me. It's, but
Yeah,
that's just.
Tom said it's okay to be both.
Yeah, I am who I am. Yeah, it's.
Well, and what's really cool with Greg and I is we balance each other that way. Then
That's
Mhm.
great.
you know.
Yep.
One thing that's really cool, if you can find a partner or a significant other that you can actually attach to and have that balance and have both that energy that's going between the two of you, it works great together. But when there's a conflict, it's just hell.
Absolutely. And that's one thing I do have to say about Greg and I both is we respect each other's opinions and beliefs.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Have you had a chance to go into your Akashic records?
I have not yet, but I do know someone. I think it's a friend of Tom's that does that type of work, and I'm thinking of reaching out.
I have had that done, and it's very interesting. That
I can imagine.
Yeah, it showed me a lot of things when I went back in my past, and it was interesting. But some people see doorways when they go down the hallway. They talk about the hallway you walk down, and there's doors on both sides, and the one that opens up you go into. And then some people like me, I see it like energy forms. So I don't see it like they do. So when I see something, I see the outskirts and just a little bit of the shadings. So enough where I can understand what it is, but it's all energy when I see it. And my Reiki master said that was pretty interesting on the way I see things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, when you're hearing you talk about that and everything, it kind of makes me think of when I give attunements.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if either of you have ever given attunements, but you have to actually go through the student and break through.
Mm-hmm.
And he's giving the name of the person that does the records.
And I cannot. I will mess that name up. So can you say it?
I can't. I believe it's Samaya. But
Samaya.
Eldrith.
Eldrith.
Say Samaya. If I messed
want to
it up,
butcher it either.
Yeah, if I messed it up, I apologize. So yeah.
Yeah, but doing the attunement, it's like you go through, and it's funny because I feel like I'm a little spaceship,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going through and I'm speeding through and I've got all these little bubbles flying by me, all their memories and everything, and I don't want to look because it's not my business,
Right.
And I just kind of speed through, and then all of a sudden I stop at the door, and I busted through a little bit for them. It's cool.
I've had someone tell me when I did their alignments for their chakras that they actually could feel me feeling their heart and me going down their bodies, realigning their chakras. They could actually feel it. So I thought that
Very
was
cool.
pretty cool.
But,
When I was being attuned, I could actually see, and they were attuning me, I could actually see their stuff. So, yeah. But the person that attuned me, people, we are very close. We are so connected that it's.
Oh, yeah. Once you do that, you are connected.
Oh, yeah, we were before, and now it's just I can sit here and go, something's wrong, and I'll call and say, what's wrong? And they're like, I knew you were going to call. Yeah. That's how it is.
That's what Greg and I do all the time, and we haven't been attuned to each other.
Right now.
I read his mind all the time.
Yeah, all the time. It happened yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, so
Yeah,
it's something stupid. It's like we were heading out to uh, our grandkids in the PA, and we were talking about we were going out to watch him playing a lacrosse game, and we were talking about getting a bite to eat afterwards. And as we're going past the sign, it said this hot dog place, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I have a taste for hot dogs." But it's like that's what I want, but she ain't gonna want it, and I just ignored it. And then like 5-10 minutes later, she's like, "I really have a taste for hot dogs." It's like stupid things like that.
I love that. It's fun, you guys. It is. It's fun.
Yeah, we do that all the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you guys been together? Just curious.
25 years.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I know.
No, has it been that long?
Yeah.
It doesn't feel that long.
Almost this September will be 23 years that we've been married, and we're spending it in Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I'm so jealous. Send us a picture. Send us a picture, please.
I'm gonna hop in the bag. We're going.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, everybody wants to get in our bags. It's like,
Yeah.
we only have
You're
like
gonna have
one.
a lot of bags, yeah.
Yeah, we got like 20 bags.
Get your shipping container and put chairs, not. That would be fun. So when you guys investigate, do you do it together? Do you like to do it together, like in the same? I don't know. You know how some couples will split up and get in different groups, and then some like to stay together. What do you guys like to do?
We usually stay together.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Because when we investigate the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's awesome. Yeah,
it
when you get
what
used
type
to
of,
it.
Yeah, it
is.
depends what type of investigation we're doing. I mean, if we're doing like a fun investigation, like at the Ohio State Reformatory,
Right.
we don't bring equipment or anything. I may just have an audio recorder, and that's all I need. But if we do a full blown like private residence investigation, then we'll bring out everything we have and see what we can capture. And Kathy's the same way. When we do private resident investigations, we don't do any spiritual stuff or like dowsing rods or pendulums or anything like that.
We go in with a logical mind first especially when we go into a private home, because last thing we want to do is walk in and go, "You have demons here."
Oh,
you
yeah.
have this here,
No, not the demons.
The bejeebers out of them. Yeah.
Yep.
So we like to go in with a very logical mind, believing the place is not haunted. And probably, what would you say, 98% of the time it's not haunted, Greg?
Not quite that high, but it's up there. I mean, we just did what we do. I mean, we call them free investigations to see if it warrants an investigation. So this was about 3 weeks ago. Woman complained that she had demons in her house. So we go there for a pre-investigation. There's me and two other investigators. And one of the things that we check, we like to talk with them, see what's going on, interview them. And then we'd like to check the place for high EMF. I've never been in a house that had so much high EMF everywhere that she was experiencing things.
Oh, wow.
Like she had this fan. Fans are notorious for throwing off high EMF. And she would have it blowing on her while she's sleeping. And it's like, you need to get rid of that fan. And she's like, I mean, she wasn't getting it. She was like, "Is my fan haunted?" No, your fan's bad. It's got a lot of high EMF.
Right.
And then there was a lot of like prescription drug use and I believe illegal drug use because there were overdoses, family members in the house. So it's like, no, there's nothing paranormal going on here. It's all got logical explanations as to what you're experiencing.
Yeah,
But,
some people.
she was kind of, she's like, "Well, I don't believe you guys." I'm so, we can only do so much. It's like she goes, but this stuff is happening. Yeah, we know it's happening, but there's logical explanations why it's happening.
So
some people just want it to be like that. Sorry about that, Sean.
Yeah.
You're fine. But that's what I would call them manifesting the problem, and then you have to go in there and readjust them and try to say, hey, if you start changing your ways a little bit, this stuff would stop. Yeah.
Yeah, get rid of that fan, get rid of that fan, get rid of that electrical device, get rid of that. Have an electrician come in and check your home, because
Exactly.
you got EMF bleeding all over the place.
Especially like old houses with the old paper wiring and the tubing
Yes.
that's going
Yep.
through them. That'll give off
Yep.
a lot of high EMFs too.
Yep.
Some of that's dangerous. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
It could, yeah. Have you ever I forget what it's called, but it's a certain kind of Wi-Fi box. Have you ever ran into that? There's a one kind, and I wish I knew the name of it, that it's really bad.
She had a Wi-Fi box there, and no, that was another home where every time, I mean, I had an EMF meter in my pocket, and every time I walked by it, it would just be going off like crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. EMF with high readings. That's one of the things when Gwen was on an investigation here a while back, and they shot me from the video, was taking me around the place. That's one of the first things I asked, because they were getting kind of high readings in the location of that one building. I said, is it got some of the old wiring in it still? Because that would give that off, even if it's shut off, because it's still got that energy going in it.
Yeah, it was a really old place, and it was right next to railroad track, and the furnace was still there, but it wasn't connected, and the back hall was had this bad feeling. Everybody said it was nothing bad there. We kind of got down to the bottom of it, but being all that together, old building, we know some crime and that kind of thing has happened. It was interesting. It was very interesting. We made let's say the clients feel better. They were much better. Especially when the lady said, "You're sitting in the back hall by yourself. I never go back here." I'm like, "Yeah, this is fine. Come sit with me." And she felt better after that. So that was really great. Yeah.
That's one thing I also do is check for the railroad tracks around. I live right in the middle of, in all directions, about 4 blocks is railroads, because I can always tell when the train is overweight, because when it does, stuff on my shelves vibrate and move across the floor. And it's like, okay, so that's the one thing I always check, because is there any trains close by? Because you got stuff bouncing around. Is that vibration from that train? If it's overloaded, it will make things slide across the table and stuff like that as well. Yeah, nobody thought of some of those things when I did that, but that's one of the main things I would check if there's a train going by somewhere, for sure.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. So would you guys like to talk about your event coming up, the Paracyclone?
Yes, we do want to talk about that.
Yes, please.
Go ahead, Greg. You start.
Well, Paracyclone, this is our 6th year doing it at the Ohio State Reformatory. It's our 8th year doing this event. And it would have been 9th, but COVID shut everything down. We call it Paracyclone. It's because it's short for Paranormal and Psychic Convention. It's always the 3rd weekend in May. And we have a lot of stuff going on. Right now we have about 100 different types of vendors. So there's about 106 vendor tables. And we have all vendors of all different kinds, just like any type of convention. This year we have 20 special guests, celebrities, if you will, and speakers. And we do a speaker area. We have food trucks. We do a food and pet supply drive, where anybody who brings in a food or pet supply item gets entered into a drawing to win other prizes. We have Friday night, we have a VIP meet and kickoff party. It used to be called meet and greet. We call it a kickoff party now, where you can go mingle with all the speakers and all the talent. And we also do a celebrity auction during that too, where you can bid on some cool things from some of our talent that you cannot buy. So that's pretty cool. We have a celebrity ghost hunt that's Saturday night. All the profit that we make, we donate back to the Ohio State Reformatory. We make no money off this event. And the cool thing about it too is our event is free. So if you pay your admission into the Ohio State Reformatory. So like right now, if you were to go in for a day tour, it'd be $30 a person, but they have the Shawshank Museum, they have the Ohio Penal Museum, they have the North Central Ohio Industrial Museum, plus you have your tour of the whole prison. You would pay $30 for that. So if you went during our weekend, if you went there on a Saturday, you pay $30, you get all that, plus all our stuff. Plus all the vendors, the speakers, go meet the talent, and it's a really cool event.
Well, and in addition to that, we also offer a weekend pass. And the weekend pass is a very good deal to get into the Ohio State Reformatory and see everything that it has. But what a lot of people say they do is they get the weekend pass so that on Saturday they can go around and just have a great time, you know, checking out everything and seeing all the vendors. And then Sunday they come back, and that's when they, you know, buy the things from the vendors and everything. So the first day is just a fun day, and the second day is wrapping it up and getting things, you know, that they really wanted. And part of our vendors, you know, like Greg was saying, there we have a variety of vendors there. We have Reiki masters. We have, you know, we have psychics. We have tarot readers. We have
Paranormal
teams. We have paranormal equipment. We have holistic stores that are there with their crystals and everything. I mean, anything and everything that you can think of. We even have somebody comes and does tumblers, you know, custom made tumblers for you. So, you know, and then we have the speakers, and the speaker lineup that we have is phenomenal. I mean, we have a great lineup of speakers, and every year, we don't do the same ones every single year. We change them up every year. So it's not always the same thing. So you're getting something new each year you come.
Yeah. And also we have vendors that have been with us since year one. So they always come back, and vendors really like our event. Because this year, and the wait list started in about September. We have 80 vendors on our vendor wait list waiting to get in, which to me is just like, I mean, crazy, because we've heard of some other events where they're like trying to get vendors, but we have a wide variety of vendors on our wait list. And what's cool too, our event is all about giving back. Right. So we came up with an idea too, that we want people to spend money at our vendor tables. So we started a thing where for every $10 you spend at a vendor table, you get a raffle ticket. So if you spent like $100 at one vendor table, you're going to get 10 raffle tickets. And right now we have 6 different locations where if you're in into that drawing that you can win for private investigations. So we've had several different areas, places that have donated private investigations to. So I mean that's pretty cool. You know, if you're going to spend money, you might as well get something for it.
Yeah, and everybody likes to win something, so
right.
It's fun.
So we got 6 of them to give away. So we got what, about 6, 7, 8 different giveaways that we're doing. So,
and one of them was an investigation.
The grand prize for what we call the grand prize is a free investigation for up to 15 people at the Ohio State Reformatory.
Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah.
But you know, with our convention, like Greg was saying, we are giving people. We always have been, and it's so important that vendors are treated right, because vendors are what makes the convention. Yeah. You know, they're the ones that are coming in and helping to pay the bills, basically. Because they're paying for the tables and everything. So, you know, it's important to treat them good. Treat them nice. You know, I've heard of some of these other places, and they take the money and they just kind of throw them to the wolves, and that's it. We've, since day one, we've always treated them with respect that they deserve. They deserve that.
Mm-hmm.
And we do little things like we have our team walk around and ask, is there anything you need? How are you doing? Here's a bottle of water. Hey, have you been able to get away from your table? How about a cookie? These little things, they go a long way, and it's so important.
It helps. It
Right.
does. I'm gonna show a poster.
Yeah.
This is the poster I have. Well,
Yep.
That's
there it is.
one of them. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's one of them.
Yeah.
But it's all about, like I said, giving. We love giving back. We've always loved giving back. Even from the first year that we did it for charity. All the money that we raised, we gave to local charities. So that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. And it's even like the food drive and everything, the animal food drive and supply drive and everything like that. It's part of giving back to the community. And some people are like, well, why are you giving money to the Ohio State Reformatory? Well, because the Ohio State Reformatory is a historical location that has high expenses for restoration to keep the maintenance going.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we're there, and we want to give back to them. It's a wonderful place. Mm-hmm. I mean, we both work there, and they treat us very, very well, and we love the building. And if you do come out, you're going to take a look at the building, and you're going to be amazed at how gorgeous it is and the money that they have put back into it.
I have looked at pictures, and it really looks. And it's how big is it? Because it looks very, very big.
250,000 square feet.
There you go.
So it's a pretty good size. And what's cool about our event too, and we always do surveys at the end of our event to all of our vendors, because we want to see what they liked and didn't like, how to improve it. Because I mean, the talent and the celebrities, they're all great and fine and everything, but if you don't have vendors, you don't really have an event. So we treat the talent and celebrities well too. But, as far as the vendors, I've been to events where I could not tell you who worked there. I mean, nobody ever came to my table, say how you're doing. We've got our team members. We've got about 40 members in our team throughout Ohio. That's why we're one of the largest teams in Ohio. And we all have bright green shirts. And I guarantee you that they will always be coming up to your table asking if everything's okay. And that's one of our biggest things that people enjoy. It's like they were treated like royalty, and we were always checking up on them, making sure everything was fine. We'd bring around coffee. We got two people. Their whole job is vendor relations, and they'd go around with bottles of water,
checking on
them, cookies, handing out cookies. And that's pretty much unheard of.
Their trash,
just taking care of them.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's awesome.
And just to go take it a little bit further, our team, they're all volunteers. They don't get paid for us. None of us get paid for it. None of us get paid for it, but they're all volunteers, and they work their butts off. I mean, but they're always smiling, and it's a legit smile. It's not one of those plastered on, I got a smile faces. They're truly happy. But, I think that's because we treat them well, too. Oh, there's Jenny. She says that.
Jenny, hey, Jenny.
They really are.
She was complimenting you guys a lot. So.
Yeah, our team is phenomenal. They do a fantastic job. Their heart is in it. It's in the right place. And we treat them good, too. They have their own little time to meet the celebrities.
Yeah, they have their little private meet and greet.
They're working. They're busy. They don't have time to stand in line, and we don't want them
to,
because people are paying to see. They're coming in and paying the admission to see the celebrities. So we have their own little time that the celebrities have agreed to, where they can meet them one-on-one. And then we provide meals for them because they have to eat. And a lot of them will work through their lunch. So we make sure there's food at the table for them. We have a cooler full of water and coffee and everything. And before the celebrity goes home, they work all day. They're done with that. We provide a whole meal for them. They're at the reformatory. They eat the meal. Then they meet the celebrities. And then they go right into the celebrity ghost hunt. So some of them work. How many hours a day would you say?
Oh, well, no, for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's about 40 hours if they work everything.
Wow.
That's a
Wow.
lot.
So, but they all enjoy it. It's only one weekend out of the year. But
Right.
it's a blast. I mean, and we treat our celebs well too.
Everybody.
I mean, for our celebs, we have coolers with their favorite non-alcoholic beverages at their tables.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it's little things like that we do.
That
You know,
helps.
to make it special for everybody, the vendors and the guests and the talent.
And you know what I have learned, and you guys can relate to this, what is really important about an event? The energy,
Yes.
Oh yeah.
how it feels. Because if guests are walking in and it has a type of feel to it, they're not going to have a good time. But when
Nope.
you're creating this momentum of good, I appreciate you, happy, uplifting energy, the guests feel it.
Oh yeah.
They do.
Most
Mhm.
definitely.
Yeah.
I will agree with that. I mean, I've been to some events that, yeah, you get that blah feeling, and then
Yeah.
I've been to some. It's like, wow, okay,
Yeah,
you're here.
It's awesome.
yeah.
So is there a
love it. This
charge
is our-
for the celebrity ghost hunt? Is there an extra?
Oh,
Yes.
well, yeah. There is a charge, and it's not cheap. But we have about 20 different celebrities that are part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there again, all the profit goes back into the reformatory thing. We only have 15 tickets left for that.
Yeah, the additional charge is, because you pay for OSR, but the kickoff party, that's an extra charge if you want a ticket for that. We also have our VIP premier package.
So that's sold out.
That sells out like that. I mean,
Yeah.
That's where you get everything at a discounted
Yeah,
price.
you get this shirt. Like this is the new shirt. I don't know if you can see it.
That's
Parasite
neat.
Empire.
Yeah,
like
turn
that.
around the back.
Can you see
Oh,
that?
I like that.
Oh,
Yes.
that's cool.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like it's a take on King Kong on the Empire State Building.
Mhm.
Can you see it?
So, and he's on
And I've
top of
seen-
the reformatory.
Yes, I've seen a poster like that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's on top of the reformatory. He's got Alien, who's supposed to be Fay Ray, and then you got the UFOs who are attacking him. So it was a take off King Kong because it's not only just ghosts, stuff like that. We got Ben Hansen, he's our UFO expert, and then we have a talent by the name of Ken Gerhardt. He's our cryptid expert. So, it's all about cryptids too and UFOs.
And these guys that are over my shoulder, they're going to be there too, getting ready to scare you as you come around corners and stuff. So
we build it up every year. We got people dressed in costumes walking around,
I like
that.
photo ops.
Yeah.
And so it's each year we add something a little bit different to it.
he wanted to get a big spaceship this last year. He was like, "Hey, look at the spaceship we had." I'm like, "No, we're not putting a spaceship in our backyard."
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah,
Thomas is saying he needs a double XL shirt.
we're gonna have these shirts for sale there. So
Yeah.
and we got some other things for sale there too.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
So,
Sounds like it's
the
gonna be
token
great.
coins.
yeah, we got souvenir coins, challenge coins, and we'll have souvenir booklets that you can purchase there. So it's all fun.
That's awesome. And you're gonna have your books for sale there, I'm assuming?
I will not because my books
Oh.
they sell them at the museum store at the Ohio State Reformatory.
Okay.
So I have a sign on the Tri-C Ghost Hunter table saying, "Hey, you can go buy books there, and if you come back, I'll personalize them for you."
That's awesome.
Cool.
Oh yeah. Jenny's asking about Jenny Davis, sorry. Has her bath products. Clean her
She's
out.
clean me out. Yes, Jenny, I will be there with my Kathy's Bath Craze. I'll have a table there. I have somebody working it for me. And yes, you better load up before the event. Well, you're coming out in June. I'll give you yours in June. Pre-order it though.
There you go. So where can everybody get in touch, buy tickets, see prices, see itineraries, all that good stuff? Where can they go?
They can go to our website. It's parasycon.com. That's PARAPSYCON, parasycon.com. And anything you need to know about the event is listed there. So just surf the whole site. We got a FAQ part, tell you about all the celebrities that are going to be there, the speakers. We have banners of all of our vendors that are going to be there and links to their website, Facebook pages. So that you can find anything you want about Parasycon at that site.
Awesome.
That is
That
cool.
is great. It is. It very much is. And Greg, are you coming to Connecticut?
No, I will not be there. I will be at another convention, which is just west of the Reformatory. So
Oh, I got you. I know Kathy's on the poster, but yeah, I'll get to meet her in person, I hope.
Yay!
I'll make
Yeah.
sure I stop by. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I'll be at another convention representing the Ohio State Reformatory.
There you go. Busy
And
couple.
selling my books and dowsing rods because I make dowsing rods too.
Oh, do you?
Oh yeah.
Which do
Oh, yeah.
you are they just like plain? Do you put the beads or what do you do to
Oh,
yours?
I don't have any here, but no, what I do, yeah, they're copper dowsing rods, but
Mhm.
each one has beads. So I've got
Yes.
different colored beads, different designs, because I don't want people touching the copper wire.
Right.
And then I also have ones that are glow in the dark tips. So you just use a flashlight and they'll glow in the dark so you can
See the dowsing rods
see
move.
the dowsing
Not have
rods.
to turn on any lights.
And those are sold at the Ohio State Reformatory. I sell them at all the events that I do. And I also sell them through a store called the Ghost Hunter Store.
Okay.
So you can get them through the Ghost Hunter Store.
That's awesome.
I've used some that are glow in the dark. They may not be the same kind as yours, but
they're not light up. It's just like the tips.
the tips. Okay.
This.
Well, that would probably even be better, actually. I think.
It's just the tips, and like I can custom make them the different colors, and
Yeah, I don't think you make two of the same. I mean, they're always.
I do sometimes. Like I do a rainbow one. I do like a Cleveland Browns one, Cleveland Guardians one, since we're in the Cleveland area. Cleveland Cavs one, because I even got like little basketballs and footballs and baseball beads too that I put in there.
You've got Scully.
I got skulls and letters and all different kinds and colors of beads. So
that's cool.
Very cool.
That is very cool. So, is there anything else you guys want to say out there about anything?
I'm out to the Parasycon at the Ohio State Reformatory.
Yeah.
Book yourself a private investigation. I know Jenny's coming out in June.
Mm-hmm.
Jenny, when are you coming out? I got to make sure I'm working.
I think she said right here.
I think in June.
In June.
Oh, wait. I think she just popped it up. Nope.
Yeah, she will be at, but I don't know what date she'll be. I'm pretty much going to be at every one in June.
Oh, there she
June
goes.
22nd.
Let me see.
Let me see.
I think
Private
I'm
night.
working.
I made sure you had it on the
Let me
calendar.
see. Oh, damn, I won't be there. No, I'm just kidding. I will be
You
there.
better be there, she said.
You better be there. She's
I
coming
will
to
be
find
there.
you.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll see you then.
Well, that's awesome. And I told these guys if they would give me some of the videos and stuff, we'll run them on the network.
Oh yeah.
Try to help you guys out a little bit and get a little bit of more attention, maybe, hopefully. And any of your, I don't know, guest members or anything that want to come on and promote, they're welcome to get in contact with me. That would be cool.
Okay.
That's what I do for most of or we do for most of the Paracons.
Yeah.
Anybody
I'm sure we could get a couple.
Mm-hmm.
We could get
we
you a
talked
list.
to- Yeah, we had talked to I always forget, Jason and Gary came on one of our shows and they were bragging on you guys and they love the Reformatory also. So
Oh yeah.
They're good guys.
Yeah.
They're
I'm
very
definitely
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
have to get over there one of these times for sure. Check that out.
I hope to see.
No, none of them will be there, Jenny.
Been too long. Yep, they love you. So, well, you guys, thank you for coming on. If you ever want to come back, let me know. We have the network has more than one show. We have a bunch of shows, and we'll be promoting you guys just as soon as I get the videos. And thank you, Kathy, Gabby.
All right.
We appreciate that. Thank you so much for having us on.
Yep, we
And I'm
appreciate it.
really looking forward to meeting you in person in Connecticut.
Yes, that'll be awesome. I think it'll be really good. So I'm gonna put you down and we'll talk for a second afterwards, and we're gonna just close it out for just a minute.
Alrighty.
So what you think?
Those two are awesome. Those two are awesome. I'm kind of jealous. I'm kind of jealous. I don't get to go to Connecticut.
Well, you know where Connecticut is, so I
know where it is.
Your little car and drive on over there.
Yeah,
you're closer than me. No, you're actually about as far as I am. Yeah,
about as far as you are for that one, for sure. And definitely, you know, like I said, I'll be coming up there this week to see you and the rest of the crew up there. And then we got in July, we got the Paranormal Rock Down, which is the weekend after the Connecticut one. So, and then we're going to have some investigations in between there, I'm sure, because the team's been itching to get out. And they've already told
come on up.
I'd love to. I would love to.
But yeah, I'd love to go to the Parapsychon. Let me say it right. I'd love to go to that. I've been wanting to try to figure something out. If I can't go this year, I'm gonna make it next year. That's just all it is to it. So, and Gabby, thank you. Yeah, you've been there.
It'd definitely be cool to go investigate with those two at the Ohio State Prison there.
Oh, the Rock Down. It's in. Okay, tell them, Shawn, because I can never remember that.
The Paranormal Rock Down is at Broadhead Manor in Wisconsin.
Yep, it is. So you guys, thank you for tuning in. We're going to have another episode on Thursday, and I will be putting that ad out actually tonight. We have a special guest. So, and of course, we have other shows on the network tomorrow night. We have 3 starting at 6:30, 9:30, and 6:30, 8, and 9:30. So, and Nathaniel, I know he's probably still watching. His show is tomorrow night also. And you guys have a good night. Thank you for tuning in. What you got to say, Shawn? Anything else?
Nothing else. Besides, well, we got our show Thursday night. Who's going to be on Thursday night?
Her name is Aisha. And Aisha, I cannot pronounce your last name, but she is affiliated with our guest from last week, and Father Bob, and a couple of other folks. She's great. So, like I said, I'll be putting out that promotion tonight. So check it out. And we'll see you Thursday. Have a great night.
Have a great day.